everyone, my name is Malaika. Our group chose the topic of cost of living in Malaysia as our topic for discussion. Cost of living measure the change up and down of the basic necessities of life like food, housing, healthcare, transportation, and education. Here I provide you one graph of Malaysia inflation rate effect to the cost of living in Malaysia. As you can see in the graph, like 2014 to 2022, the graph up and down. This is why the cost of living in Malaysia always change. According to Trading Economic Global Micro Models and Analysis Expectation, they have projected the expectation rate cost of living in Malaysia in 2024 and 2025. As you can see here, the inflation rate of cost of living in 2024, they have projected around 2.6% and cost of living in 2025 around 2.4%.
Hi madam, my name is Lena and I'll be presenting on what are the main issues of cost of living in Malaysia. So in general, the cost of living is how much a household spends on the things and services it needs to live in a certain way. So in the broader sense, the cost of living refers to the necessity of maintaining a constant standard to spending through a household's spending. In the meantime, changes in the cost of living cannot be accurately measured using the Consumer Price Index. So, Malaysia's economic growth has accelerated in the first 14 years of the 21st century. However, this has not been followed by an increase in the quality of living or pay rate. Thus, this affects Malaysia's cost of living. Malaysia, being a tiny economy, relies on the stability of the global economy and the US dollar remain competitive. In general, there is a strong causal relationship between the standard of living and the cost of living. So the unmistakable drawback of what's going on in the present moment is where expenses is driven generally, however, not only by item costs, such as oil. So the people, the business, and the government have all been struggling to deal with the rising cost of living and inflation, especially since the pandemic began. There are a few issues that affect the cost of living in Malaysia that will be discussed further down in the presentation. And the cost of living are affecting Malaysians mainly through politically and military.
The rise of living costs is giving an impact to the global nowadays. In Malaysia, the main issue of cost living is the increasing price of goods and services, which make it difficult for many Malaysians to afford basic necessities. The cost of food, housing, healthcare, and education have all risen in recent years, leading to concern about affordability and quality of life. The rising cost of living can be attributed to several factors, including inflation, the devaluation of the Malaysian ringgit, and the increase in global commodity price. Additionally, the COVID-19 pandemic has exacerbated the problem as many people have lost their jobs or seen income decrease. The cost of living has a significant impact on politics. When the cost of living is high, it can lead to dissatisfaction among voters and pressure the politicians. First is public dissatisfaction. The voters are dissatisfied and be aggressive. This can lead to public protest, demonstration, and other forms of political activism, which can create pressure on the government. Second is voter behavior. In elections, voters may choose to support those who promise to address the issue. Third is policy priorities. Referring to the points earlier, the politician may be more likely to prioritize policies that address the issue, such as subsidies for essential goods or investment in affordable housing and healthcare. Lastly is political stability. Economic instability can create social unrest and increase the risk of political instability, which can have far-reaching consequences for the country's future. Overall, the cost of living is a critical issue in Malaysian politics and is a significant concern for voters and policymakers for the foreseeable future. Political parties and elected officials will need to work together to develop effective policies and strategies to improve the economic well-being of all Malaysians.
How cost of living impacts Malaysian in legal. Here's the thing. Cost of living adjustment is calculated by looking at how expensive it is to live in a given area. In Kuala Lumpur, the expenses are higher, thus individuals who live there require a higher salary to survive. Because the salary dictates the cost of living, when the city's costs rise, so will income. The four main sources of income are paid labor, self-employment, property and investment, and receiving current transfers. According to Malaysia's Department of Statistics Malaysia, paid labor accounted for the lion's share, accounting to 63%. Next, impact to the economy. Malaysia's above 130% trade to GDP ratio has an influence on the country's economy. Selangor, which includes Kuala Lumpur, Putrajaya, and Kedah, is Malaysia's most developed state. The cost of living in Johor differs markedly from that in Kuala Lumpur. Malaysian housing prices are a good predictor of expenditure and are substantially higher in metropolitan regions. Notably in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia capital city KL, the availability of affordable housing is insufficient to satisfy demand, particularly for individuals spending between 3,000 ringgit and 5,000 ringgit per month. Low-cost housing is defined as appropriate dwelling units with a minimum built-up area of 600 to 750 square feet, a living room, dining area, kitchen, bathroom, 3 bedrooms, and washer and dryer facilities. A unit under the low-cost housing plan is available to those with a monthly household income of 750 ringgit to 1,500 ringgit. Religious centers, school, open spaces, and recreational facilities are examples of social amenities. Malaysia's income growth might fall short of forecasts. Despite having better academic degrees, younger employees' compensation has stayed unchanged as they struggle to keep up with growing living costs. An increased number of workers are angry and concerned.
As for conclusion, it is expected that Malaysia may not be able to cope with higher living costs due to low wages. It is also expected that house price may increase due to increased costs, labour shortage, and also economic instability. There are few recommendations from articles from few groups to cope with cost of living. For the first one, the government should reduce monopoly license and provide targeted subsidies for B40, says a business group. The second recommendation is given by Industry of Malaysia President Tan Sri Loh Kiat Chuan. He says to reduce personal income tax for low and middle class earners. He also says that price control and subsidies should be remain in a place as stopgap measure. There are also few ways to cope with higher living costs. First of all, we should create a new budget. For the second way, we can make some lifestyle changes. For instance, we can ditch a branded products. For example, you can buy a shampoo from a drugstore instead of a branded professional shampoo. Now, what we have learned through this assignment is that the cost of living has two elements, which are prices and also incomes. We cannot bring down the prices down quickly, but we can slow the increase. And that's all from us. Thank you.